Welcome everybody, my name is Eltimar and we are going to be beginning a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. This is a game I've been looking forward to for quite some time. I've tried mostly to stay away from the beta boards and everything like that, because I want everything to be fresh and new when we experience it together for the first time throughout this playthrough. Consequently, this is going to be a blind playthrough, just a heads up right now. We're also not going to be doing a triple crown run immediately, as they are inherently dangerous, and I know next to nothing about the game, other than what I know from the first game, but quite a few things have changed, so we'll see how everything plays out. You don't necessarily have to have watched or played through the first game in order to begin the second one. There is a sort of story catch-up feature present in this game, which we will be going through together. We could import one of our old saves, but we're going to start brand new and go through the storyline catch-up mode just to see kind of what it's like, and see how well it does explaining the story that has unfolded up until this point. So, let's get started. New game. We're going to be playing on Path of the Damned, because why not? We're not going to be playing on Trial of Iron or Expert mode though, and there is level scaling. Level scaling provides a consistent level of challenge to players while exploring Deadfire. While enabled, enemies within a scene will adjust their level up or down depending on the character's level, relative to the intended level for the scene. I mean, we could do that for Critical Path, I guess? And I'm not going to worry too much about whether it scales up or down, we'll just see how it all goes. There will come a time where we do the Triple Crown run and we'll probably leave scaling on, but only upwards, just for a challenge. We'll see how it goes. Oh, also, this is being recorded at 1440p and at 60 frames per second or hertz, so those are your recording informations.
Aora, a world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel. The cycle of reincarnation watched over by the gods, and made possible through pillars of a mystical substance known as Audra. 5 years ago, you traveled from your home to the Deerwood, a nation that had waged war against the incarnated god of light, Aethys, resulting in his destruction. The country suffered from a plague of hollowborn, infants born without souls, that many believed was punishment for killing a god. In an ancient, secluded ruin, you witnessed a secret ritual that inadvertently transformed you into a watcher. One who can see and speak with souls. The ritual also gave you horrible visions, waking nightmares of a past life that threatened your sanity. To put them to rest, you pursued the man who had led the ritual, a seemingly immortal agent of the gods, known as Theos Ix Arcanon. With divine assistance, you confronted and defeated Theos, ending your visions and resolving the Hollowborn crisis. In so doing, you also learned the great secret that Theos had protected. That the ancient empire of Anguith had transformed themselves into gods. Your visions finally put to rest, you retired to the castle of Cadnua, built atop a massive statue of pure Audra, where you ruled in relative peace and prosperity.
That never ends up lasting in fantasy genre type games. I guess we're gonna see what happens.
Made a nice story. You fixing up that old keep? Lifting the curse? Must have told it 100 times. But something got to gnawing at me. Thinking the spirits there weren't really at rest. But maybe the gods weren't finished with us. I used to dream that when my god came back, he would forgive us. outlast the troubled dreams. Sooner or later, we all have to wake up.
That is grim. Also, is that Matt Mercer? Does Matt Mercer voice Adair? Or Adair? I think it must be. It does sound a lot like Matt Mercer. And I know that well, I definitely downloaded the Critical Role DLC so that they can voice my game for me. Critical Role is one of my favorite shows that I watch on a fairly regular basis.
And so you wake to a sleepless world. The in-between of life and death.
Yeah, looks like we're corpseified.
Follow your memories. You have been here before.
Can I go this way? Typical Western CRPG, making us go left to right like a book. Sheesh. I'm just kidding.
You have seen past the shroud. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
So that's where we encountered the Hanging Dwarf. That's the tree of bodies in Gilded Vale.
A watcher sees souls, knows their pasts, and the souls see them back.
That's the old watcher we killed in the basement of Cadnoa, I think? Yeah, that sounds right. I just can't remember his name for the life of me. It's been a few years, though.
Inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed.
That's the soul of Cadnoa.
What is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked?
That is Theos Arcanon, the main baddie of the game.
The gods aren't real, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
I can't remember her name either, but she tells you the secrets of the gods near the end of the game.
And did you ever consider that these were things you were never meant to understand? That their comprehension is beyond you?
That's Theos. That girl was near Sun and Shadow, or in Sun and Shadow. Oh damn, there's like a big...
Let the world see. Let them decide what to do.
Oh, well that's a cool looking pillar. I must say this looks quite fancy.
The wheel has turned again, Watcher. Come.
Well, I don't really have much of a choice, do I? You've kind of launched me right into your statue. Slash pillar. Slash cloud machine.
An aged dwarf shares this strange floating platform with you. His face is creased by so many wrinkles that his features lie buried amid shadowy pockets of skin. Still, the dwarf's well-practiced habits have left telltale tracks of a welcoming rictus across his visage.
Continue.
You can see his smile coming before it blooms, reshaping the dwarf's face from a hanging sack of flesh into something resembling an oddly carved, merry gore, replete with unhealthy bumps and discolored splotches.
Okay. I can't talk to him.
The creases of the dwarf's face tighten into a smile as he gives you a courteous nod.
Okay, so tab highlighted still. That's good to know. I guess we're wandering the broken path. Fancy. Oh, okay. I don't know if I want to sit here.
Sit. Please.
I have no choice.
Thank you for joining us, Watcher of Cadnua.
The gaunt woman seated at the table is clad in time-worn black armor that seems too massive for her to move in. A pale, slender neck rises from the gorget, topped by a hollow face. The milky skin stretched across it is delicate and translucent, like parchment that has been scraped clean too many times. She is preoccupied with the arrangement of cards on the table between you. With each movement, her armor squeaks and groans as though bearing an incredible weight. She places a final card, gives a nod of satisfaction, and raises her eyes to meet yours.
Your brush with the divine has drained you of your powers, fractured your memories. Look upon these cards. They represent the courses of your life. You alone know best how they flowed. Arrange them to fit what you remember.
we will examine the cards to choose our legacy. Okay, so we can choose a pre-built one. We're not going to bring in our other things. Let me read these out for you guys. In Pillars of Eternity, you return the lost Hollowborn souls to the Deerwood's children, as you had pledged to Hylia. You were kind and merciful to the people you encountered, sympathetic to their pain, and charitable to those who needed help. Fair and balanced, in Pillars of Eternity, you returned the lost Hollowborn souls to the Wheel, as you had pledged to Barath. Most other choices were judicious and balanced, tempered by rational thought and fairness rather than sympathy or emotion. Survival of the fittest. In Pillars of Eternity, you used the souls of the Hollowborn to strengthen the Deerwood, as you had pledged to Gallowayne. Most other choices were made to strengthen you and your allies while punishing and weakening your enemies. Dark times. In Pillars of Eternity, you consigned the souls of the Hollowborn to oblivion as you had pledged to Rimmergand. You left a wake of physical destruction and spiritual annihilation wherever you went, seeking to bring a final end to all things. Keeper of Secrets. In Pillars of Eternity, you pledged to consign the souls of the Hollowborn children to oblivion, as Rimmergand requested, but you ultimately gave the souls to Wodika. You supported maintaining the god's secrets, as well as your own, and everything bad. You did everything wrong. You pledged to do the bidding of every god and then scattered the souls of the Hollowborn to a random location. You got every companion killed. You got the worst outcome for every quest. If there's a mistake you could have made while still resolving the Hollowborn crisis, you made it. Not suggested for new players. I think we're gonna go with Dark Times. That's mostly what we did, was Dark Times.
Does everything appear to be in order?
Yes.
Good. Welcome to the Beyond. I am Bera. One half, anyway.
She points a finger in the direction of the dwarf who led you here. Though the movement is slight, her gauntlet squeaks like a rusty hinge. The dwarf's rictus returns as he nods in the woman's direction.
Tell me, do you remember when we last met?
Yes. In the Hall of Stars in Twin Elms.
You came to that tower seeking our aid. You prayed for help in reaching Theos, beyond the Court of Penitence, but would not pledge yourself to me.
Nope.
Still, a pledge unmade stands fairer in this court than a pledge broken.
She places a card in the middle of the arrangement. A bell tower with no bell. Her fingertips slowly drag away from the card, faintly creaking as they retreat across the table.
You had need of the gods once before. Now it seems we have need of you. The being that occupied Odnua's statue beneath your castle was the dead god, Aothus. Of this we are certain. What we do not know is what his intentions are. Though Aothus stole a large fragment of your soul, you were strong enough to survive the onslaught and enter the in-between. You and he are still connected. He has chosen a body made of living Audra, perfused with the power of thousands of souls, including yours. It should be little difficulty for an experienced watcher to find him.
Why don't you just do it yourself?
Taking a physical form in Aora is fraught with peril. Most mortal minds and bodies are incapable of containing divine power. It can lead to problems, as Aothus learned not long ago.
Her armored hand gingerly places a card sideways on the table. It features a man with a burst of light instead of a head.
Well, I'd like to find him as much as you would. He destroyed my castle and killed who knows how many people around it.
I know. It is my business to know. 322 in Cadnua and your surrounding lands.
All those taxes.
Their souls remain in Aothus still. You have the power to save them. Serve me and I will return you to your body. Or don't, and return to the wheel.
If we take the wheel, do we just lose the game? I guess let's get on with it?
Good. Before you return to Aora as my herald, you must remember who you were, the last whisper of life in death.
For a moment, the sockets of her eyes darken, leaving the pits of a death's head gazing out at you.
When you can picture your own face, the Beyond will lead you back to your own kind, to the world of mortals.
Okay. we get to pick a player. So we're going to be a male. We're going to choose godlike. We're going to be largely the same as we once were. Death godlike, because I really love the death godlike look. It's so cool. Although I do want to change his appearance a little bit, but I'm sure we get to in a moment here. We'll make him not an Orlan, an Amoa, death godlike, make him tall and beefy looking. Would I like to make a single class or multi-class character? Single class characters are entirely focused on their chosen class. To gain access to higher level powers more quickly, multi-class players can select powers from 2 classes, but gain access to higher level powers most slowly and cannot access their class's highest level powers. Multi-class characters are not recommended for new players. Blah. I mean, we could go with a multi-class character, but what would we go? I want to make a paladin again, because I like paladins, they're kind of fun. And bleak walkers make really, or death godlikes make cool bleak walkers. I think I'm just gonna go with single class for now, though. Paladin. Our resource is Zeal. There's still basic classes in the game, they're all the same. So we have Barbarian, Chanter, Cypher, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Priest, Ranger, Rogue, Wizard. But we're gonna start up a Paladin today. You can actually see their ability tree. Oh, there's passive attributes now. That's kind of cool. Oh, you know what we could play, actually, which might be really fun. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna be a multi-class character. Our first class is gonna be Paladin. This is gonna be neat. We're gonna try something new this time. It's gonna be Bleak Walkers. And we are gonna we could go Lay on Hands or Sworn Enemy. I think I'm gonna go with Lay on Hands. Healing is always important, almost universally. And our second class is going to be Cypher. We're gonna make ourselves the Inquisitor class. Crowd control and a striker, that's gonna be our role. And they also have tons of skills, of course. We're not gonna be able to get level 8 or 9 skills, I think. I think we have stuck up to like level 7. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I never looked into it too much, but we can also be an Ascendant. Max focus is increased. Soul Whip does not turn off while Ascended and provides more bonus during Ascended. Soul Blade. Beguiler. We could also just choose not to be a subclass of them. You know what? Let's try Soul Blade. We'll try something brand new. This is something I've never actually played. Briefly transforms the outer shell of an allied target into soul energy, releasing electrical bursts around them, and enemies standing in the area take shock damage. Tenuous Grasp assails the target, causing shaken and confused. Eye Shock causes blind. Antipathic Field causes corrosive damage. Oh, I see, yeah. So you create a toxic physical manifestation of the mutual antipathy between the Cypher and the enemy target. Enemies caught in the path between the two will suffer corrosive damage. Mind Wave is raw damage and a cone of concussive force. Whisper of Treason can charm people, or Valorous Echoes. You provide strong and insightful inspirations to your group. Soul Shock? I don't know how powerful that's going to be. Maybe Mind Wave? Or Eye Strike? It's a tough call. I have a feeling Whispers of Treason is not going to work very well. It's a level 1 ability, first of all. So I have a feeling everything is going to save against that. Shaken and Confused might be really useful, though. We'll give that one a shot. Okay, so we have our 6 stats that we always get. So Might is damage. Constitution is your hit points, as well as Fortitude. Also, Might also gives Fortitude. Dexterity is reflex and attack speed and stuff like that, or action speed. Perception is like detecting traps, hidden objects, and also reflex, as well as accuracy, fairly important. Intelligence is will, defense, and influences durations and areas of effect. And resolve is just sort of all of your defenses. Now, this is the part of the game that's always the hardest to do, because it's really hard to pick a decent lineup of stats. Some people are firmly of the opinion that you should just dump all of your stats into specific things. Oh, we should probably put more into intelligence. Resolve is actually something we can lower a little bit. We have decent will in other areas. For example, our intelligence gives us a whole bunch of willpower. 15% health, 6 fortitude. I kind of want more strength. I like how, look at this. Okay, so for Inquisitor, recommended, not recommended, 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 recommended. We can actually drop con a little bit because we're getting fort from strength. We don't really need perception as much, except for accuracy is super important half the time, because missing every attack is never good either. It's kind of a toss-up. I think I'm gonna go with this. 15, 12, 14, 12, 16, 8. So our area of effect is larger for our paladin auras and abilities. 30% ability duration, which is good, and 12 will. Maybe it's a bit high. $15, 12, 15, 12, 8, 15, 8? Sure, you know what? This is a first playthrough. We'll min-max later. Where are we from? So we can be from Adir. The Adir Empire is one of the most prominent old empires of the West. It is centered on the equator and has a tropical climate. The nation of Adir is at its heart and houses the majority of its human and elven populace. Adir was once a powerful colonial force, but the loss of Raid Ceres and the Deerwood reduced its stature. Adirans are common in the eastern reach, but are rare in the Deadfire Archipelago. The Deadfire Archipelago is where we are currently, so Adir gives us +1 resolve. Raid Ceres gives us +1 resolve. Intelligence from Old Valia, or Valia. Ratoi is, or Rawatoi? No wait, that's not right. Rawatai, that's what it is. Con, the Living Lands is Might, which might be what we do. The White that wins is Perception. 16 Strength? Might is always good. Man, this is such a toss-up. I think I'm gonna go with Might. So we're gonna be from the Living Lands. It's the mountainous region of a large northern island renowned for its diversity of plant and animal life. Its weather is unpredictable and its ecosystems vary dramatically from valley to valley. The Living Lands are home to an assortment of races in a variety of colonial and independent settlements. There we go. What was our job? Mercenary. Maybe mercenary? So these give you bonuses to your skills. I mean, I kind of want to get bluff and diplomacy because we are going to be the talker of our group, generally. Your main character always ends up being the talker. It's just the way of the world. So merchant gives us streetwise bluff and diplomacy. I mean, that's not so bad. You traded goods from all over the world, pairing items with buyers of all kinds. Sure. Now we have to choose our weapon types, and there are just tons. We're going to choose one-handed weapons. We want 2 one-handed weapons ideally, so we're going to be fighting with, we're going to be dual wielding, generally. But do we want fast weapons or swords? What do we want? I don't know. We don't want the parrying blade. What is that? Okay, it's bewildering blows, unbalanced strikes, interfering strikes, needle strike. We could use rapiers. Kinda like rapiers, they're kind of a cool thing. What do we get though? Carefully strike with rapier, aiming for vital points to ensure success. Accuracy at the cost of recovery. Penetration at the cost of recovery is for sabers. Spears, we could dual wield spears, but that's silly. Half sword. We could do half swords actually. Penetrate armor more effectively at the cost of lower deflection. Let's do half swords. We'll try out half swords. We need a second weapon though. We'll do half swords and rapiers. Or half swords and sabers. Wait, half swords are slashing weapons, I'm 99% sure. Rapiers should be piercing weapons. We should have one of each. Or should we have hammers like a blunt weapon? Yeah, who cares about that? Alright, let's get a... Actually, I kind of like that portrait. Or we could go with that portrait. That is a cool... Okay, we're going to do that portrait. Now we're going to be darker. We don't have any choice in skin color. Or primary or secondary hair color. Can I back up? Nope. Yes. That's the one.
You better run! Charge! Bring them down! They won't see me coming. What is it? Now I am leader of the group.
Maybe.
For Strongjaw!
No.
I'll report back to you. Time for some good old-fashioned ultra-violence. Time to...
Let's put an end. That wasn't so hard.
Another for the Queen. I am your eyes and ears.
Let's go!
Keeping quiet.
Follow me.
Easy does it.
Right here.
I got this. I got this.
I'll teach you a lesson. No Chris keeping an eye in.
Now I.
Okay, we're gonna go Sinister, I think. Okay, we can choose our pose. So average. Heroic is sort of like puffed out chest, shoulders back. I'm just kind of like lean. Ooh. I mean, that's kind of cool. Maybe? Sassy? I like sassy. Stoic. Stoic's kind of look like Dread. Sullen. I don't want a whiny. Kind of look like Dread. Done. Oh, why didn't my work? There we go. Eltimar. Next. So that's where we're going to be. 16 might, 12 constitution, 15 dexterity, 12 perception, 15 intelligence, 8 resolve. We're using swords, aka half swords, or sword and rapier, I should say. So slashing and piercing, hopefully, are our weapons of choice. And that's going to be it.
Go forth now, Watcher, as my herald. Know that I do not give you this title lightly. When the time comes, you will have the power to reveal the souls that cling to you, to open the gateway from the in-between to the waking world.
Okay.
Find Aethys. Learn his plans. When I have cause to talk to you, I will summon you.
Okay.
With a quick gesture of her hand, you feel a sharp pain in what would be your chest. The pain continues, intruding deeper into your soul. Looking down, you see a small lump of darkness roiling within you. The darkness lingers there, but the pain abates and fades entirely within the span of a few seconds.
A chime. Do not fear, Herald. It will not harm you unless you choose to cross me. I trust it will not come to that.
Her gauntleted hand gestures to the dwarf, hovering nearby. The dwarf nods, contorts his face with his odd smile, and gestures to a new door.
Alright. I guess we are leaving now. Creepy dwarf face. You know what? We'll just click there and let him do its thing. Can't move around, like, I'm stuck camera following this creature. Is that Adir? It is. I can't move anymore. Hello? Oh, there we go. Okay, we can move now. Goosebumps rise on Adir's arms at your approach, but he seems unaware of your presence. You sense the steward's spirit in the bust, but she is unaware of you. And in we go to our body. I look awesome. I love the death god light look. It looks so cool.
The return to your body feels like waking after a fitful drunken sleep. The rocking of the ship sends pain jolting through your limbs. Crashing waves hammer inside your skull. Adair watches over your body with a glazed look, taking long, even tokes from his pipe. At the first movement of your chest, he starts, His gasp, mid-puff, sends him coughing and straining for breath.
No, there's no way. You're awake. What are you doing awake? How are you feeling?
Alive.
Alive's a big improvement.
I hate to cast a pall over your recovery, but I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
The voice echoes from inside the bust. The remains of the steward of Cad Nua.
Cad Nua has been destroyed. Aethys possessed the statue of Maros Nua and rose from the ground, consuming the souls of all nearby. It is only by the exceptional strength of your soul that you survived. And even then, just barely. The further Aethys withdrew, the weaker you became. We chartered this ship and followed him to the Deadfire Archipelago. I know not how, but it seems he has retained a piece of your soul. And proximity to it has brought you back.
I know.
How could you know all that? You've been faking on us.
He pokes at your shoulder with one finger.
Misfortunes brewing topside, wait. Magrans fires the captain stirs.
An older man with ale-sour breath rubs his bloodshot eyes and stares at you.
Engrim, the smell of drink on your breath could wake the very dead. Now what's this about?
Pirates. They're demanding parley with you, Captain.
I know this is asking a lot, but you better arm yourself and get on deck. Should be some gear in there.
He indicates a nearby wardrobe.
End dialogue. Alright, we're gonna get some gear on. Cool, it's even give us the right equipment.
Alright, now make some use of it.
I know how to put equipment on, thank you very much. Alright, our main hand will be our sword, and our offhand will be our rapier. Oh, I look cool. I don't need help with equipping stuff, thank
The
you.
pirates of Deadfire are notorious. I suggest you deal with them quickly.
Okay, but we're gonna end off here because we're at 32 minutes. So, we've started out our game, we made our new character, and we are ready to go. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Take care.